Hi guys, thanks so much for joining us here on The Movement. Now tonight I'd like to talk to you, or today I'd like to talk to you about weight, weighing yourself and all the science that goes on about that. So join me for this. It might take about 3 minutes, might take about 5 minutes, I'm not sure. I'm going to take my time because I want to explain this because it's really important that we sort of once and for all stop this idea of weighing ourselves or the how we're weighing ourselves, because we're really weighing ourselves wrong. We're not doing it right. I've been a personal trainer for over 40 years. I've trained thousands of clients. I've helped clients lose weight for many years. And I'd like to take you back to where it all began. When I used to be a phys ed teacher, and we'd talk it to kids, and I'd give the kids this chart. It was a height weight chart. Remember the old height weight charts back in year 9 science or sex ed or health ed back then? And we used to measure a kid's height and say that's how much they have to weigh. You know, or you go to a doctor and they say, okay, we've measured your height and this is how much you have to weigh. And it just would continue on. Look, I have a little graph here and stuff like that. And that was the science we used back there. I've lost my G. Sorry, I've lost my G. Sorry about that. So that's what happened back then. We did that. But nowhere at all in any of that back in the old days, let's go back to the old days, the old school, there was nowhere where we did this, was there? No one ever did this. They didn't weigh you and tell you this is how much you have to be as a height. Weigh you first and tell you its height. Now, it's pure science. If we agree with this chart, the height weight chart, it's science. There's a graph. It's science. If we agree with that, if we go old school on that, we have to agree that this is right. So we should really weigh a client and tell them the height they should be. Now that's ridiculous. You and I both know this. I used to teach this to kids, this very thing. I used to teach this and show them this graph, and they'd say, you're crazy, you're mad. And they would usually laugh out loud and say, that's ridiculous. I say the same thing to clients now. Let's weigh you and tell you the height you are. So no one should be doing that. So if you think about it, this is completely wrong and stupid. And that's why over the last probably 40 years of training clients, with my book, I wrote a book called Big Fat Lies up there behind me. Someone said recently on a video, why have you got the word fat written behind you? But if we zoomed in on that, it's actually a book I wrote called Big Fat Lies, which was expose in the industry. So this industry is full of crap, and this is another crap thing in our industry. So let's go through this. If we're going to weigh ourselves, and I don't advocate anyone weighing themselves. In fact, I hate, if I could find my G. I don't know where my G is, guys. Here we go. I found my G. I've written this up here, hate wigs, because the wig represents the industry is full of crap. They're hiding behind, the emperor wears no clothes. They're hiding behind this wig, if you like. And we know, if we're coming up later in the video, you'll see these words, these letters will make another word, as we always do in the on the movement. We sort of shumble these Scrabble boards here. So I hate this industry. I hate I call it the unhealthy health industry. This is not a good industry. But if you are going to weigh yourself, and by all means, I do not encourage you to weigh yourself. Do not weigh yourself. It's the silliest thing you can do. But if you do weigh yourself, if you like to weigh yourself, this is how you do it, right? Let's go. If you're going to weigh yourself, you have to do this. You've got to weigh yourself every single day. Day 1, day 2, right up to 5, 6, 7. And then you weigh yourself. So if I was to do it and I say weigh 72 kilograms, 71, 70, 72, whatever, because over the course of a day, you retain fluid and you lose fluid. Now, this is specifically if you're a female. For anyone out there who's got partners, friends, family members, the female of the human species, of the movement, they will retain fluid more than we do. Specifically, once a month or once every 28-day cycle, they would weigh more and weigh less. And they go up and down like this. So their weight's going to fluctuate. And so what happens if they weigh themselves, say, here, and they were here the day before, they say, oh my God, I'm having a bad hair day, bugger this diet, bugger this exercise, it's a waste of time, and they do the what the hell effect, which I'll cover in another video. So what I'd like to do, if you're going to weigh yourself every day, you've got to weigh yourself every single day and take an average. I think the symbol for an average, I used to be a maths teacher many, many years ago, or was it like that? I cannot remember. It was like another life I did it, was a maths teacher. You weigh the total, so you add up all those numbers there, all the numbers there to be about 300 and let's say 357, and you divide it by the 7, and you get a number, say 71.6, whatever you get. And then what you do with that average is you get your number, your average there, and you compare it against next week's average, okay? And that's how you weigh yourself. You do week 1 compared to week 2, compared to week 3, compared to week 4. Because that gets rid of these bad hair days in the middle somewhere. It gets rid of those ones. So I do not encourage you, go old school again, I do not, big N-O-T, do not encourage you to weigh yourself, because weighing yourself is really bad. Because your body fluctuates and you actually weigh more. I'll tell you about a client in a second who weighs exactly the same as what he did when he first started with me about 10 years ago. But his body shape has changed. People in the gym are saying, wow, what have you done? What have you done? He's got muscle. Muscle weighs more than fat. He's lost fat. So therefore, he's lost fat, gained muscle, and he actually weighs more than he did, or he's equivalent to what he was exactly the same about 10, 12 years ago. So weighing yourself is silly, but if you must weigh yourself, if you're going to weigh yourself, you've got to weigh yourself every day. Danger alert. Danger, danger, danger. If I was to write this down, if I was to go back to my overhead thing and had a really good here, whoa, danger's already written. A danger alert there, guys. Big danger. If you weigh yourself every day, we know what that could happen. If you weigh yourself every day, get closer, guys. If you weigh yourself every day, there's a danger that you'll get obsessed with weighing yourself. And we all know where that leads. And we do not want to go down that path. So many people over the years, of 40 years of training people, have had that eating disorders because they weigh themselves every day and are obsessed with weight. Weight is such a dangerous thing in this industry. It's probably one of the worst things ever, weighing yourself. So please, go old school. Don't weigh yourself. Get rid of it. And let's get this. So I told you, I promise you we'll play with these words. Let's play with these words. So summing up, do not weigh yourself, but if you're going to weigh yourself every day and take an average of that day and compare it against the average of last week, compare the average of next week, rather to avoid that bad hair day. And then what happens is you have that bad hair day, you'll just go, bugger it, what the hell. And I might cover a video on the what the hell effect, but let's get to these words. So we've got hate there, so let's find it. We've definitely got weight. We can wait for our results, can't we? Or we can WEIGH. There you go. It's been a long wait, but we got there. There it is, guys. A wait. Fantastic. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Men's Movement. Thanks so much. Now, remember, these videos are about having a bit of a coffee break. Here we go. Having a bit of a coffee break. I'll just share a bit of a coffee break with you. So if you want to, go there and buy me a coffee. Support our movement, buy me a coffee. But better yet, watch the next video. I'd really want you to watch the videos and be sure to comment on the comments. Not because I want you to comment and go, wow, look at me, I'm getting more likes on the YouTube. I don't care about what I get. I care about what you get. So comment and say, hey, Jack, can you make a video about this? Or Jack, I heard a guy at the gym talk about this. Or I heard a girl at the gym talk about that. I really want you to comment to let me know what you would like, because these videos are about you. I've got 40 years of knowledge in here that I want to share with you. 40 years of my knowledge to share with you. So please join us on the coffee breaks. Hope you're joining the coffee breaks on the Men's Movement, and we look forward to seeing, as always, less of you next time. Make a comment, watch the next video, and enjoy. Keep reaching for the front door, not the fridge door. Cheers, guys.
You've been listening to the Men's Movement. Look forward to seeing less of you next time.